So, a couple of days I saw a movie, and the movie is Annabelle Coming Home. Let's talk about it. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. It was fun, a little bit lighter than some of the other Conjuring films. This is the 7th film in the Conjuring cinematic universe. And it was a lot lighter. Like I said, at the beginning of the movie, you've got Annabelle, or rather the Warrens picking up Annabelle from the girl that owned her in her apartment. Very similar to the intro scene for The Conjuring 1. And so that's, to me, how the Warrens found Annabelle, and they picked her up. Apparently the story goes that this girl could sense that there was a spirit or something like that. They employed a medium to see if there was a spirit, and the medium, I guess, mistakenly told them that there was a ghost of a little girl named Annabelle, and she really liked the doll. She wanted to live in the doll and hang out with them, or live with them in the house peacefully. And so they were touched by the story of this little girl that used to live in the area, that no longer lives in the area. And she, the owner said, yeah, that it was okay for her to live in the doll, which was a big mistake. So according to the Warrens, when they went to investigate, because the incidents with the doll started getting, a lot worse, almost to the point of what's that type of ghost? Poltergeist type activity. Even scratching one of the guys that lived there. There was a guy that lived with them, and he was having nightmares from this doll, getting scratched. At one point he had a dream that it was choking him. And so through a priest, I believe it was, they found Ed and Lorraine Warren, who came and discussed with her and said that it probably was not a ghost, that it was most likely a demon, that ghosts can't inhabit objects like the doll, but demons can if you invite them, which is what they did. So what happened next is they take the doll, and that's kind of where the movie starts. And the true story of Annabelle, when they picked up the doll and they were driving home, their car would stall, and they were almost in some accidents and all this kind of stuff. And a little bit of that is portrayed at the beginning, which I guess kind of one of my favorite parts of the whole movie, even though it has very little to do with the full sort of story of the film. Once they get home, they trap Annabelle inside this consecrated glass case, and bless the case so that she can't. Because they realize once they get into the house that she's a lot more powerful than they thought. Started affecting other of the cursed items that were in their cursed item house, in the cursed item room. So that's kind of where the second part of the story starts. They have to leave for a trip, and they leave their daughter with a babysitter. The babysitter has a friend who's a little bit of mischievous and curious. So she kind of invites herself to the house and starts snooping around, and of course, lo and behold, as you've seen in the trailer, she causes trouble down in the cursed room, cursed objects room, and that's where the meat of the story starts. Very, very cool is the actress who plays Judy Warren. Her name is McKenna Grace. She's fantastic. She reminded me of Matilda, the movie where the little girl has powers. And she reminded me a little bit of Matilda. And of course, the powers that she has are real similar to her mom. In The Conjuring 2, they show a little bit of that, where she's able to see some stuff that her mom can see. Namely, the nun. I don't know who'd want to watch that. Pretty scary. So, using her powers, she's able to see that things are going haywire. Entities are walking around the house, doing all this kind of stuff's starting to happen. And they have to fight them off and try to get the house back the way it was. And that's pretty much what the movie is about. Now, it's not super scary. I would say that if you were a casual horror fan, that it might be scary enough for you. Certainly, horror fans such as myself, who's seen every freaking horror movie you can imagine, it's not gonna be scary enough for to affect someone like me, especially if you've seen all the Conjuring films. Because I think the biggest problem with some of the scares is that when you watch the original Conjuring, and even to a certain degree Conjuring 2, James Wan's ability to build that tension and literally make your skin crawl with his characters is amazing. I mean, he's fantastic. He's really, really good at it. And so he's able to build this tension and these frightening moments in his movies. And then you get to some of the spin-off movies, and you get the feeling that some of these directors, while they're fairly competent, they kind of come off like they're trying to build the same scares that James Wan would build, kind of using his formula, but definitely not achieving that same sort of level of horror brilliance that he can do. He's very good at that. So why I say that Annabelle comes home is light is because the scares are telegraphed a little bit. You know when they're going to happen. The monsters are really not that scary. One of the monsters or entities is so CGI. He's just very noticeably CGI, which is a shame because when he's in the shadows, he looks amazing. He looks really good, very menacing. The sound of him, shadows, things like that. But it's just that same thing like with Jaws. You show too much of the monster and it loses all mystique, especially if you know that you've got some pretty mediocre CGI happening. And as a fan of this certain type of monster, I'm not going to say what kind it is, that particular monster is the worst when it comes to CGI. It just looks horrible. It's getting dark in the car. So there's a couple of knocks there on the movie, but I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because my friends were enjoying it. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine brought his Annabelle doll with him. I'll put a picture around here somewhere of it. And a lot of people were taking pictures with it and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty cool. So, do I recommend the film? Of course, I think I do. I think it's fun. As a matter of fact, it's even fun for some kind of younger adults that appreciate kind of horror movies. I really don't think it's that scary. I really don't. There's no gore or blood. There's one moment where something happens, but then it doesn't happen. So there, it almost plays like a PG-13 movie. And so I think some younger adults would probably appreciate it, almost like their first chance at a Conjuring movie, because some of the other ones are definitely way too scary for kids. So I'd say go see it, check it out, especially if you like horror. If you're a hardcore gore hound, or that sort of thing, or you like exploitation movies, or you like extreme cinema, well, this is not going to do it for you. So, you know, you could probably take a girlfriend or something like that to go see it. So anyway, so that's it for that movie. There'll be another movie coming up pretty soon. Hopefully, either Chucky or rather the new Child's Play. I want to watch Swamp Thing. I've been wanting to catch that. Love that character, especially the old school '80s movie. Love that movie. I watched it many times when I was a kid. So that's pretty much where we're at. Let me know what you think. This is my first monologue movie review. Subscribe to my channel if you want. Like this video if you want. I know I'm just dragging on like crazy. This video is going to be kind of dark, so I don't know if I'll even post it, but gotta start somewhere. All right, catch you later, guys.